Like the shit is.
You're trapped in your space.
I mean, I
I
can't.
can go
I can't
wherever I
even show
want.
you. I can't show you the court. Yeah, it's like my. I've scooted back and forth my chair too many times, and now the cables are all under everything else.
I was on the other side of the room playing video games as one does.
I was installing a video game that I thought I was going to have time to play in the hour before this podcast started, and I part of why it took me a second to get on because it was like just finished downloading the shaders, that it
Mm.
was like, hey, adjust this, adjust that, adjust, agree to this. What
Did you
buttons are
agree
you
to that?
using?
Did you agree
Are
to
you afraid
everything?
of spiders? Are you
Mm.
afraid of spiders? Yes or no? Would you click the afraid of spiders button?
Like, what's the game?
Monster Hunter Wilds.
Do I want spiders in that? I don't even know. That question is
Probably
too
they're
conf
probably big.
I wouldn't be able to install this game because I just pick, I don't know, and then I wouldn't answer the question, then it wouldn't let me play.
It's funny because one of my favorite games is Elden Ring, and in Elden Ring they have something that like uh, even I'm kind of I'm not afraid of spiders, but there's these things that are basically like they're like two hands together like that,
Mm. Yeah, that's
moving
no good.
around like a spider,
Right.
and then one of the things that's the most annoying thing in the game is that there'll be just like a chest somewhere and you'll kind of see like fingernails if you look closely, and if you grab it,
Mm.
then that giant hand will just be like, and then
You see, that's the thing. It's like, well, I'm not inherently afraid of spiders, but it depends on how you're animating them in your game, you know? Maybe I'll get to being like, no, I don't like that.
yeah, it's like if the spider was like telling me that I was a failure, like my parents or something.
They
My
finally
parents did
fixed
that. My dad
Polytopia.
did.
That's nice.
What's that? Is that like
It's
the?
like a distilled down civilization.
I think you told me about this.
And then 3 years ago, they added in these cloaks, which just totally fucked up the balance of the game, and you couldn't get rid of them. They're still there, but they're much better balanced now, so they don't just piss you off. Like I don't use them because I don't like them, and then maybe
Mm.
your opponents late in the game do it a little, but it's not as annoying as it used to be. So it's a playable game again.
I mean, one of the good things about playing on PC is that when there is a Steam sale like there is right now, there's a bunch of like these games that are like $2 or $3 that are just basically like fucking insane. Like here, Video Holes, an episodic first-person adventure game set in an alien dimension. Meet new allies, find gadgets, and uncover the mysteries of an ancient power far below your local video store. And it just looks like insane. Um, I downloaded a game called Drink More Glurp, and it's like aliens have been spying on the planet Earth, and they've seen the Olympics, and they try to copy it, but everything's wrong.
Oh, here's one thing that might make you never want to play Polytopia, though.
Okay.
It's listed as being Elon Musk's favorite video game.
Oh, maybe that's where I heard of it.
Anyway, don't let that get you down. It's a good game.
I think
Although when
he
you play it,
likes.
you'll get it because there's just it's one thing that's different in Civilization is there is no real diplomacy. Like
Well, I was
if you
never.
see
That was
someone,
the
you
thing
should
I
fight
was.
them.
That was the thing I was always the worst at in Civilization. So it's
Civilization
like,
always pretended like there were other avenues other than just destroying everyone, right? But
yeah, I.
Polytopia just mostly does away with that, like 90%. But you can finish a Polytopia game in like 30 minutes or something. It's not like Civilization where it takes like eight forevers.
I mean, Musk likes Souls likes, or at least he pays people to play them and pretends that he likes them. Here's one. Revenge of the Colon is a story-driven single-player atmospheric body horror game with multiple endings. Perform colonoscopies on 5 patients and discover the horrors concealed deep within them.
No, that doesn't sound good. I don't want to play that.
I actually bought this one. It was like $1. Where is this shit? God damn it! This is so hard to fucking navigate these things. Soda Drinker Pro, the world's most advanced soda drinking simulator.
Why would I want to simulate that?
It just looks like a bunch of crazy shit. I don't know. It just looks crazy. It just looks crazy.
Anyway, I've
Like,
never played a game on this laptop. that I'm talking to
I
you on.
mean, you should. I've said this before. You should play Undertale,
No,
but
I know.
like,
I don't play games on my laptop. Like
yeah.
when I'm sitting here, I'm not gaming.
Well, I'm the same way with my phone. I don't play games on my phone.
Okay, see, I only play games well on my iPad really. My phone, I
I
don't game so
just
much on my phone.
I have basically it's kind of interesting where I've realized that I just do not like playing games without like a lot of like physical feedback. Like I want rumble and like pushback on the buttons and stuff.
Mm.
So like touchscreen is just not enough friction for me. I want like
So sometimes they your phone vibrates a little bit.
yeah, I know phones have haptics, but it's not the same as like pushing it. I want to push the buttons.
No, I get
Like I
what you're saying.
really like pushing. Like I'm restoring an old arcade game and putting like some fancy shit in it right now with whatever parts I have. And I'm like I went out of the way to make sure to get like the joysticks that are the like the old type of joysticks where you have to like push on them and it kind of feels like machinery because I'm like
Mm.
not yeah, I want like I want to feel like I'm fighting whatever it is that I'm doing. Like the PlayStation 5 controller has these things like these triggers that like will push back on you, which I think is one of the coolest things ever. Uh but
Nice.
yeah, yeah, I don't know. But you can, you know, I just do like the weird shit, like the just insane shit
Mm.
for
Uh, for what? For
for
what?
for video games.
Yeah, I've never steamed anyway. That was my main point. I'm not a steamer. I have not
Yeah.
been steaming.
I mean, just your like of weird trippy stuff is like they're that kind of is all Steam.
Mm.
Like Steam has everything trippy that's made
Mm.
generally. Like
Mm.
it's a more of a let me see where this there's a game called The Exit 8 where you're just like in a subway that never ends and you're
Mm.
like it keeps like fucking repeating and it's all scary. I
Yeah.
haven't there's a game about digging a hole. I'm just like reading out titles. Buddy Simulator 1984. It's about like a whatever.
I mean, there's lots of, like dumb, pointless simulators you can get on an iPad as well.
Yeah, I guess they're probably. Oh, I
I mean,
wonder.
I haven't even put a game on my device recently. I think the last one I put on is that Monster Hunter Match 3 I haven't played yet.
Oh, you haven't played it yet.
No,
uh,
I haven't played it yet.
there's a new game called Toaster Side. You are a toaster. You have been tasked with eliminating targets by expertly maneuvering into their bathtubs.
No, I
Use
played too
your
much.
power cord
In the
and
past week,
toast abilities.
I played too much Polytopia because it was only last week I discovered it was like playable again because I was like, "Oh, I'll try it, see how it's going these days." Oh crap, you can play it now without getting pissed off. So,
You know, I've mentioned that I play way too much Tetris, and there's like a new version of Tetris called Tetrachroma where you are changing colors,
mm.
and I don't understand it.
Oh, and Polytopia does not, you do not get into the modern era with your units. They stop at like
Mm.
knights and catapults and battles like tall ship battleships like wooden ships. That's like the height of technology in the game. You don't nuke anybody.
Mm. Do they have Void Bastards on the iPad? You should play that.
Mm.
That's
Void bastards.
it's a roguelite where like you are like on like a just a series of shitty like kind of ships like the one in Alien where it's like they're all like mining ships, but everyone's dead in all of them, and just ghosts show up, and all the ghosts are just like these flat sprites, but they're all
Mm.
like they look like comic book animated, but they all scream at you in Cockney accents. They're like, "Oi, buttface, get off my ship!" and just like are trying to kill you, and then you die, and then you're they're just like they just thaw out another prisoner, and that's who you are now.
Oh, okay. What fun.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great fucking game.
I guess that's basically
Um,
what happens at the end of Alien 4, is it?
yeah, it's kind of like a cross between Alien 4 and like Red Dwarf if Red Dwarf was like completely nihilistic.
Everyone's dead, Dave. I don't know. That seems pretty nihilistic. Everyone
Yeah.
dead, dead. Okay. You want to start interrogating? You want to get into an interrogation?
Yeah, let's do it. Oh shit, I have to pull my notes up. I had to restart twice. Okay. Welcome to Podcast 1999. The podcast will remove your brain and then wash it and then put it back.
How many humans have helped you, Mark? Tell me the name of those humans.
None.
How many
All
humans
of
have helped
them.
you? Tell me their names.
Morris?
That's not
What
good
about?
enough. I'm interrogating you. It's the interrogation,
Ah.
which yeah, it's I guess it's kind of ambitious that they're kind of going into the prisoner territory, but they don't really have the chops to do it, which is weirdly charming.
Yeah, this is my favorite episode. I mean, of the series. I mean, it's yeah, they're trying to do Once Upon a Time, but then they stop halfway through.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
But
it is
then you
funny
get like
when
a crazy gorilla brawl. So it's like, eh,
what goes Mission Impossible for a few minutes, then Gorilla Brawl, and then somebody yells at Urko, which that's fun. Urko finally gets yelled at.
yeah, by Yalu,
Yalu, which is
who
Galen's father. Oh, we're getting in too deep. I hope people watch the episode already, or they're just going to be like, what are they? Well, I mean, why would you listen to
why
an
would you
episode
listen
of
to this?
Planet of the Apes television series Interrogation without, I don't know, I guess we could introduce it for you and with trivia and summaries and things like that. Although
I
you
mean,
should still probably watch it.
if you're going to watch one episode of the series, watch the pilot. But if you're going to watch two of them, this would be the second one I would recommend.
Okay.
The third one, maybe, I don't know, the Good Seeds.
Hmm.
Um,
I think for me it's still I think the trap is still my favorite. Just because we get weird
okay,
dumb sets and like all the apocalyptic human stuff like the posters and the Bart and stuff. Like for me that's still
yeah,
that's the thing that scratches my itch. I see where this scratches your itch with all the mind bleepery and screaming and gorilla brawling. So
yeah, madness. The only thing that disappoints me about this episode is just that we're seeing the interrogator start to go mad, like a hammer into an anvil breaking.
I,
But then she's
I could
just
have
like,
I could have
nah,
done with some more flashing lights, colored lights. I mean, that doesn't make sense
yeah.
here, I guess, but yeah, they could
They
work it
don't
out
have
somehow.
electricity, do they?
Yeah, and they don't have electricity, but they could have filters like colored gel filters and candles. They use candles, so
Do
the
you
candles
want?
get really close to the scrolls too. I was like kind of worried they were going to set Urko's office on fire. Or is that
I mean,
that's not Urko. Is that Urko's office or
no, that's not her.
Zaius's office?
It's like a secret. It's like one of Urko's secret places.
Not the cave. I'm talking about the map room.
Oh God, yeah, I think that's one of
Because we've
Zeus's
seen
rooms.
okay, we've seen that in several episodes because that map is, kind of notable.
Yeah, it's basically you know if you want a bunch of like apes standing around with candles like in front of colored gels that I guess they would get colored gels by
Yeah.
killing a cow and then grinding up its hooves to make some kind of transparent
So you can do that without
material
electricity.
and then grind up a bunch of plants for different pigments and then make the gels and then press them by like sitting on them for a long time.
That could be an episode, the
Sure,
gel maker.
sure, the gel maker. But anyway, as for this episode, the interrogation, I keep thinking the interrogator because that sounds like more what it should be called, but
Like the
no, it's called the
equalizer, yeah.
interrogation because it is really about an interrogator, isn't it?
Yeah.
Um, this episode was 10th aired, but 12th in production order. We once again have both a first time and only time director and writer. Alf Kjellin is on directing duty. He was born 1920 in Sweden. He started out acting, and his appearance in the Igmar Bergman written film Torment in 1944 got him on Hollywood's radar. He actually has more acting than directing credits overall, and among other things, appeared opposite Patrick McGowan in Ice Station Zebra. As far as directing, he helmed some Swedish films and then, upon crossing over to Hollywood, became a mostly TV director. You can see his work in Hawaii Five-O, Policewoman, and Cannon. He retired in the mid 80s and passed away in 1988. The writing credit goes to Richard Collins. He was born in New York City in 1914 and worked as both a producer and writer. His works include Lady Scarface, Cult of the Cobra, and he co-wrote the original Invasion of Body Snatchers. As for producing, he most notably produced 127 episodes of Bonanza and 131 episodes of Matlock. He
He's
passed
the
away in
older
20...
brother of astronaut Michael Collins.
Is he?
I don't know.
He passed away in 2013 at the age of 98. Well,
Was that the trivia?
no.
Okay, I
This is
just
over.
wondered. Yeah, it felt short. I was like, did I derail you with my astronaut talk?
I kind of. I was trying to think of how to respond to it, and I just couldn't. I couldn't find a way. My mind has been destroyed by these methods.
Been spinning it around too much.
Yeah, too many apes have been spinning me around in a big circle. This is overdue, but although he allegedly appears in 6 episodes, he's sort of only appeared in 1 for the most part before this. Anyway, Booth Coleman is this series' Zaius, apparently not a doctor, so you could call him Mr. Zaius.
Your
He was
apeness.
born Zaius. Maybe Zaius is a title. I don't know. He was born in 1923 in Portland, Oregon. He served in World War II in the Japanese Language Division of Military Intelligence. After the war, he began a stage career in New York that led him to film roles in the 1950s. His IMDb bio says he was known for playing educated yet intense, often crooked characters. So, yeah, Zaius.
Like Zeus?
Yeah, like Zaius. You can see him in films such as Them! Exclamation point. World Without End, and Jump into Hell. Later, he would appear in sci-fi TV such as Galactica 1990 and Star Trek Voyager, and towards the end of his career, he even showed up in a couple of Coen Brothers movies, playing a judge in both The Man Who Wasn't There and Intolerable Cruelty.
Isn't that Galactica 1980?
Did I said that right?
No, you said 1990.
Did
I was
I?
just checking, like, if I was wrong, like, because it came out in 80. I was like, oh, maybe they called it 90, and I was thinking 80. Okay, anyway, it's
1980
80.
is on the page.
Okay, 80.
Is my
Okay.
microphone working? I feel like I sound bad.
Mm.
No?
You sound like a muffle monster, but it's not the worst thing ever.
Something's going on. I'm going to turn
Okay.
myself up. That's great. Great for everybody. Um,
I'm not cutting that. It
okay,
takes too much work.
cool. He retired in the late aughts and passed away in 2014 at the age of 91. Zaius will be back for 2 more episodes, but not sure how much screen time he has in either of them. Our titular interrogator this week is Beverly Garland as Wanda. She was born in 1926 in Santa Cruz, California, and studied dramatics before her family moved to Arizona, where she began appearing on stage, and she found her way back to Hollywood for a debut in the 1949 film DOA. She had a long career in both film and TV. Among other things, she appeared in the Twilight Zone episode The Four of Us Are Dying, 1 episode of Danger Man, 74 episodes of My Three Sons, Airport 1975, and all 88 episodes of Scarecrow and Mrs. King as Dottie West.
So
Not
she's
as
not the
Miss.
blonde in the park. She's too old to be the blonde in the park.
No, that's somebody else.
Okay.
Oddly, I didn't even put her in the trivia because she's in it so little.
No, that's fine.
That's
I,
what I
I just
thought.
like assumed, oh, they got the actress out of ape makeup because you can't tell if someone's in their 50s if they're wearing a dumb ape mask, right?
That's really what I thought. The weird thing is that she's in the end credits, but Beverly Garland is not.
Just still feel weird sometimes watching the show where I'm like, I can't recognize these actors. Or is that the same person from last week? But that's all the makeup applications, I guess, that's like doing that.
It would make sense, right? I guess
Yeah.
it was cheaper to actually just have another actor to not put makeup on. I
Mhm.
don't know. It's weird, but that's anyway, that's Burke's girlfriend.
Yes.
Not the human version of Wanda. Anyway,
Mm.
she retired in the late 90s and continued to operate the 255-room Beverly Garland Holiday Inn in North Hollywood until her death in 2008. I checked, and the hotel is still being operated by her son James as a boutique hotel called The Garland.
Oh, they took her first name off. That's too bad.
If you go to the website, there's that annoying little AI thing that's like, please chat, is like a little picture of Beverly.
I
which
hope she
is
was like Sloppy Telly over at the Universal Sheraton or whatever it was.
Sloppy Kelly.
Sloppy
What?
Telly, Telly Savalas. He lived
Oh,
like the last 15
oh.
years of his life, and it's either the Hilton or the Sheraton next to Universal City. And he'd go hang out at the bar every day. Hey, you're hanging out with Sloppy Telly.
I think I think she actually like ran the hotel. Like I
Like
don't think.
properly. She wasn't just like
Yeah,
holding court at the bar.
I mean it actually looks like a really awesome hotel. I was afraid to click on it like
Or you thought it'd
for
be like a rat
rates.
trap.
No, I mean it looks like good. Look a properly restored, cool retro hotel that looks good. I mean, like remember what was that place we stayed in Chicago that was kind of
That
cool,
old hotel, that classy old hotel there, that's the name of it now. I don't remember.
classy old hotel. As Galen's mother, Anne, we have Anne Seymour. Interestingly, the only female character in the franchise, female ape character in the franchise whose name does not end with an A. She was born in 1909
It
and was
starts with an
actually,
A.
yeah, I guess they figured that was enough A's. They could have made her Anna.
Yeah.
They didn't. She was born in 1909 and was actually a seventh generation actor on her mother's side of the family. Interestingly, it seems that neither she nor her two actor brothers continued that bloodline, but she was the godmother of Vincent Price's son. She trained at the American Laboratory Theater School, which sounds fake, and started out on radio plays and Broadway shows in the late 20s and
Well, I
showed
guess
up
it
in,
worked. Degree from there did her some good.
yeah, did film and TV by the 1940s, making her debut in 1949's All the King's Men. You could also see her in All the Fine Young Cannibals, Big Top Pee Wee, and Field of Dreams. She passed away from heart failure in 1988. Galen's dad, Yalu, is played by Norman Burton. Born in 1923, he came up through the Actors Studio in New York. He had a long career in TV and film, and he actually is the first ape you see in the film Planet of the Apes. That's right, he played the hunt leader. Aside from that, you can also see him in the Twilight Zone episode Miniature that Matt and I talked about on the Time Enough podcast. He was an office worker. He's in Diamonds Are Forever, The Terminal Man, The Towering Inferno. Why can't I say it?
And
It's
Towering Inferno.
Torno and Bloodsport. He died in a car accident in 2003. His last role was in 1993's American Ninja 5.
Ooh,
Didn't know they made 5 of those.
that's when they
Uh,
really caught on fire.
yep, as the gorilla billed only as Officer Gorilla, which seems unfair
Oh, that's
because
a great name.
he did have a lot of lines. Like he
Officer
sort of,
Gorilla. Is that the one that said he was a lieutenant?
I think so. He showed up. He was
Well,
he had like a higher pitched voice than a gorilla usually does. Like,
yeah,
hi,
yeah.
I'm a
He could
gorilla.
he could be
He was good.
Lieutenant Gorilla.
He was cool. Well, Officer Gorilla could be anything. He could be a general.
Yeah,
But he wasn't.
an officer and
Um,
a gorilla.
we have Lee Delano, born in 1931 in New York. He had a stage career that transitioned to TV acting by the 1960s. You can see him in the Star Trek episode A Piece of the Action. He played an armored car driver on the series Batman, and you catch him in the Mel Brooks joints High Anxiety and History of the World Part 1, and William Castle's Project X. Additionally, Sid Caesar had him replace Carl Reiner in 1968 for a number of TV and stage appearances, and he founded the Oxford Theater in LA with Jack Donner. He passed in 2017, but his final on-screen credit was starring opposite Nick Cassavetes in 1997's Farticus. And that's the trivia.
Okay, here's a story for you. A guerrilla patrol jumps our three fugitives and manages to take Burke captive. General Lurko wants to obtain information from Burke using experimental brain surgery, but chimpanzee scientist Wanda wants to try the method she's found in a 1986 book on human brainwashing. Apparently, this method mostly involves spinning Burke around on a table and asking him questions. Galen and Alan make it to the Ape City, and Galen enlists the help of his parents. Wanda's interrogation methods ultimately fail, and Burke is delivered to the ape hospital for experimental brain surgery. With the help of Galen's mother, Alan and Galen manage to break Burke out of the hospital, and Galen's father gives Urko a harsh dressing down. I have summarized. It's happened.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, this is
Very
a much
good.
more ape-intensive episode like the Good Seeds. We don't see many humans. In fact, near the end, we're at the ape hospital, and then some of the orderlies are humans, and that didn't look right by that point, you know? So Ape City is, I guess, pretty ape heavy.
I think it's kind of better this way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm saying it as a positive.
Yeah,
It
it's
feels more
funny.
apey. Like a few weeks ago when we had Andrew here, it's like I just don't, he's like the story doesn't have anything to do with like the concept of the apes. I think he was talking about the surgeon, which was paired with this one for the telemovies.
Yeah.
But this one had some serious like, I think OG movie stuff going on. Again, you said gorilla bra, weird surgeries, that sort of stuff.
Well, there's your through line is ape doctor
Yeah, yeah, it's like
lady,
the ape medical doctor lady is the
General Ape Hospital.
I think that came up last time, yeah. But that's why they pair. I was thinking though, should you pair like episodes that are like a little more dissimilar? Because if you
I
put two
don't
episodes that
know.
are kind of similar, doesn't that just kind of make it a big bland monolithic mess as a movie? Not that
I
any of these were
don't
meant to be
know.
movies anyway, but
Am I going to do that research? Probably not. Do I want the job of having to pick the two episodes? Yes, but also I don't know how I would.
we
You'd
only
probably
have
have
four.
to watch all of them, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah. Well,
you
you're
have to
watching all of
sit
them.
there and
You're doing that now. There's only
yeah, but you have to
14, so I
like
guess.
watch the combinations. You have to sit there in a room and you have to watch what are the permutations of
Yeah.
pairs. It's
And there
like
are like two that didn't make it, I guess. I don't, that seems lazy. Why not just make another movie? I mean, even if
they
they
ran
don't
out of
quite fit
film.
together, like none of them really probably fit together that well because they weren't supposed to, you know?
They ran out of what were the ones that didn't. I keep every time I look at trivia, it's like this was part of it. I feel like none. I never notice when it says that they aren't part of the movie.
Like, but I do think the most fun would be because they paired the gladiators with the one that's also in a city but not the trap. Anyway, they paired those two, and I still love that in one episode Galen sees a coliseum, and then in the second one he's like, "What's a coliseum?" So if you put them together, he seems like really stupid. It's like we get out of a car, and I'm like, "What's a car?" You know?
Well, I mean, he does. I don't know. Galen's pretty special, isn't he?
Hmm. We
He
get
has
we get
special parents.
Right, we get the Galen family this week, which at the end I was like, this feels like the end of the last scene of a sitcom that stars the Galen family, the Galens. I guess that's not their family name, that's just his name, but
I thought it was great. They were great because they were interesting characters, but especially his dad shows up like when Yalu first walks into the room, he's doing this like shoulder thing where I was like, "Oh my god, this guy is like so serious about being an ape." And then of course, oh, it turns out he is, an ape in something else before in the original film,
he's
so
the
that makes
OG ape. He's
sense.
he's got a he was an ape before Roddy. He's got to stand his ground, you know.
Yeah, I mean that's rad. I mean, he was really compelling. I don't know. It's like he didn't have like a ton of stuff to do other than like be um
We got to
the
scream at Urko. That's pretty
philanthropist.
exciting.
That yeah, of course. I mean, he had the his arc was learning tolerance.
Hmm.
Like good for him, but it's like just his general like ape demeanor was pretty cool.
Well,
And
learning tolerance was like, gee, should I let my family be imprisoned and possibly killed or not?
well, ask. I'm sure there's some people there. Definitely is. You know, there's a guy whose wife got deported by ICE who's like, well, uh, stuff happens. That's
Yep,
pretty
that
much was
happened.
his attitude about it.
Well, this is more about this isn't deportation. This is experimental brain surgery and brainwashing. Where do you got the quote for the brainwashing?
Oh, the quote of where Urko thinks it's like taking his brain out of his head and washing
Yeah, and
it.
then washing it. Yeah, which I guess when you're 4 years old and you first hear that term, that's what most people think, right?
I don't remember ever thinking that, but yeah, maybe I did.
Like as a toddler. So I mean, and the gorillas are like increasingly dumber as the series goes on, I guess, or it's just more noticeable how dumb they are.
Well, I mean, it's interesting. Urko gets a lot. Urko doesn't just have a lot to do, but he has a lot of feelings in this episode, which is good. I like seeing Urko just like live life and feel feelings.
Being Urko, but he doesn't have fun. Like we still like last week we got happy Urko. I mean, maniacally, evilly happy Urko, but he was still pretty happy last week with the horse races.
It's I don't know.
I
I'm
cheat
not
and I
sure.
win.
I'm sure that I'm not supposed to feel like Urko is the star of this show, but like I don't know how I'm supposed to not feel like that.
I would say he's number two in this show, and the only reason he's
Okay, yeah,
not number
Roddy
one,
McDowell.
the only reason he's not number one is because he's not in every episode, you know?
Yeah, and Roddy McDowell is like kind of just going full like weird ape. So like
Yeah, there
it's
was just that one week where he didn't work, right? I think every other week he worked. I don't even remember which episode that was where I was like, this isn't this is he's off this episode, but this one he's on. This is fun. This is yeah, he's so weird, like you say. Like he's never that like
yeah.
weird in the movies, right? And
I mean,
Galen, like
he's
you said, Galen is a special ape.
he's turning into Bugs Bunny at this point. Like he literally does Bugs Bunny. Like he does drag lady, you know? Which are like, okay, that makes perfect sense. He's Bugs Bunny.
Well, I wrote Galen's lazy conning this week. Alan's doing the work. I mean, he's got to sell it, right?
Yep. But I mean, but yeah, but also there's a lot of really fun just Alan looking just exhausted in this
Well, they're
episode.
running a lot. They don't have horses.
Yeah, he just looks like so over it when he's like hiding over and over and over and hiding from and dealing with Galen's dad hating him and everything. It's just like he's just like which is
Hey,
fun.
here's something in the trap. The knowledge of human civilization is like destroyed and suppressed as hard as possible when they find it, right?
Yeah.
And with the legacy, there's a other one would say that one too. So in this one, Wanda Ape has just like found a random time capsule and is using it now. Oh yeah, yeah, time
Yeah.
capsules were all the rage in the 80s. I remember that, you know. There's a
Well,
Nickelodeon time capsule, right? They moved it though. I think it's in Hollywood, not Florida now.
I think that kind of underlines that basically the series isn't trying to do this, but it feels like what I'm taking away from it is that the worst thing you can do is to be like completely morally inconsistent, and ape civilization is completely morally inconsistent. It's like so Urko wants the technology and Zeus wants to destroy it. Zeus wants the technology, Urko wants to destroy it. Urko wants to is loves sports but wants to fix them all. You know, it's just their apes will honor a contract because it's honorable, or they'll just kill anyone. They'll kill someone for just giving them bad news.
If he
They'll
wins, kill him after the finish line. If he loses, kill no, the other way. If he's gonna win, kill him before. Okay,
yeah
sorry.
they'll kill humans for like quote unquote justice, or they'll let them go because arbitrarily they were proven to not be that evil or something, or not, or to
I mean,
because
I guess you'd
an
call it a
ape
lack of
lied.
continuity from episode to episode, because
That's what it really is.
within the episode, people are relatively, what you don't have wild mood swings like in the episode, you know?
I mean, that's definitely the answer, right? It's just lack of continuity and a different and constantly guy who's never written this is not like the same person writing on anything, and I don't know how much the showrunners are doing. I haven't even really talked about them, but it's like Ruby Spears. They're like responsible for a lot of like animated stuff.
Right. Yeah, and if you pair this with the surgeon, because the lady dot the surgeon and that the application's almost the same, so it almost looks like the same character, but it's not, you know? I mean, I know
Yeah.
the actor's different, but just because of the makeup, they basically look the same.
Well, it's like probably not a great choice to dress all the apes kind of the same for the most part, but
Mm.
that's just what
They
they do.
that's how these things go. I mean, that's the one
Yeah.
thing I feel like you have to keep that just to look a little bit like the movies. Also, you get to use the
Yeah.
costumes from the movies, which helps, saves money.
Yeah, so okay, Howard Dimsdale, executive story consultant, Joe Ruby and Ken Spears. And Ruby Spears are like Scooby Doo people. So it's like a lot of
Ooh.
Scooby Doo stuff. they've created on a
I mean,
billion
I wouldn't hate
things.
it if the show was more Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I don't
I
really
don't know if
like
that'd be an
Scooby Doo.
improvement, but that'd be entertaining.
I don't like Scooby Doo because it's like the most format. It is the most like strict format of anything ever, basically, and I don't like that. I just do not like. It's okay to have some rhythm to what you're doing, but that is just too much.
Mm.
I never liked it. Um, sure, sometimes it's fun or whatever, but it's just yeah. My brain hurts when I see it. I don't like it.
Well, I mean, that's also like children's programming. Again, if you did that
Yeah.
with, if this show were a little more Scooby-Doo, that would make it more aimed for kids. And we've talked about before, maybe the failure of the show, which the weird thing is, I guess it just was expensive for the time because it seemed people watched it. But yeah, it's like, who's it aimed towards, right? It's not really adult enough most of the time to be for adults. It's too formulaic to really be for adults, but
Eh,
it's too something to be really for kids, right? It doesn't go all the way that way either.
but I mean, were adults getting things that were more adult than this at that time? Not really.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's
I mean,
well in the theater you are. You got New Hollywood and stuff. But yeah, I guess on the
sure.
TV you do not.
No,
Um
TV was so separate that it's like TV is so separate that I'm assuming that people saw this and were like, "Wow, it's more like the actual movie than we're used to."
yeah, because there'd been a few movies to shows by this point for sure.
Yeah,
Topper had a show in the 50s. And the movies were from the 30s, so it must have been different actors. Well, no, it must have, but I imagine they recast everyone, which I think they did.
I've seen a few of them,
They don't do
and I
Lego
forget
sequels
what they
back
are.
then, you know?
No, that was not a thing. TV was like, I mean, probably. Well, the old anecdote of how they wanted Roddy McDowell, but they were afraid to ask him because he just wouldn't. That wouldn't happen
Yeah, why
for
would
the
a
most
movie
part.
actor do TV? That doesn't sound right, but that's of course now the movie actors are all like, "Oh God, if I want to I can get, you know, I mean, taking a TV job is basically like taking a movie job and they just leave in all the footage, right?"
Well, I think that's good because then I don't feel like I'm wasting my time watching. I don't know. There's some like Andor is better than any of the Disney Star Wars movies. I like it much better than Rogue One. Uh, some people some people would disagree, but I've definitely seen a lot of other people say that.
Mm.
It's like the just the fact that you can go either way with it, and uh, it's because sometimes back in the day it would be really tempting to just give the TV series a shot, and then you just be sad because you're like, I wasted my time.
I destroyed
I
my career
tried.
by appearing on television, yeah.
No, you would feel bad for wasting your time watching the TV show and hoping that it was as good as the movie,
Mm-mm.
or just
Um,
trying to like squint until you felt good about it.
so I did like the percussive interrogation. I had several notes like, is this diegetic music or not? And then she kind of says, and then they make it clear, yes, there are people in the next room playing drums.
Yeah, my notes, I was like, this is making me insane as well.
So mission accomplished. I guess they don't have
Yeah.
flashing lights, so they have trippy percussion, you know?
Yeah. So where were you thinking this was gonna head? Like what did you think was gonna happen with Wanda? Because I was thinking that she was gonna go insane and that was how he was gonna get away.
That would have been cool. Yeah, I was certainly expecting something that was going to draw the prisoner thread a little longer, whereas they kind of cut it off in the last 20 minutes, right? They kind of give
Yeah.
up on it. Like right in the middle, I was like, "Oh, Zero Dark 30 is just a remake of this episode of Planet of the Apes, right?" But
Uh,
that's not the case because it goes on after that.
haven't seen it. Is that
Uh,
about the interrogator going insane?
kind of.
Hmm. Okay.
That was meant as a joke. That's the very intense movie about like searching for Osama bin Laden.
I thought that yeah, I sort of assumed that was just like army doing army stuff. Um I yeah, when she starts like straight up leaning in to kiss him or something, I was like, "Whoa,
She wants to
dude."
be a sex ape.
Yeah, and then they come in and they're like, "It's almost daylight and you've been here all night just torturing this dude and going and screaming at him more and more." Whereas like that was
But Burke's reaction,
Awesome.
almost getting kissed by an ape, almost seemed weirdly offensive too. Where he's like, "Wah!" That was pretty
Yeah, we're
funny.
not used to that, are we? Usually you just let the ape kiss you. Or I guess let the ape kiss you is also offensive.
Yeah,
You
but
just kiss the ape and you like it.
the look on his face was probably, that what got me. Also, it did occur to me like he was gonna vomit before he gave them information.
Yeah, I mean, he was probably ready to die.
Except it doesn't look like they were twirling them that fast. Probably because they had an actor on there, and speeding up the footage would have looked like not good. So he's just kind of
Yeah.
slowly twirling. Like it doesn't look that insane, you know?
Yeah, well, that's what that's what you get, I guess.
And then she's consulting the book as she's interrogating. That seems weird because that makes you look. You're supposed to look like you're in charge, and if you're consulting a book, you don't look like you're in charge.
I don't think apes care.
Yeah, but that's all about the finessing the situation. If you're doing an interrogation, don't have the handbook in your hand and reading from it out loud.
I guess they just respect humans so little that they would just take the manual in there and look at it.
Even
Um
better is when we get to the hospital and they're about to do the surgery, and the surgeon has like his brain chart. I'm like, oh my, this is not going to be successful by in any way. It's just kind of like it looked like something you could sketch out in like 5 seconds.
do you feel like they're implying that maybe all the humans in the future can't talk because people like Urko just had all of them lobotomized?
He washed all their brains his way.
Well, towards the end, it is like, well, we're just gonna do the operation that Urko prefers. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like they don't name it. I guess they probably don't have a name for lobotomy. They'd probably just do it
Or I just
because
kept writing experimental brain surgery, which because I was like, is it a
yeah.
lobotomy? A lobotomy at least suggests you kind of know what you're doing, right?
No, it doesn't actually. If you
Well,
read into the
it
history of
it
lobotomy,
means you've read a book and you are following the procedure in that book, and someone's done it
but
before.
the guy who made the lobotomy didn't know what he was doing at all. Like it is to the core like fake pseudoscience and you know the the one of many Kennedys to have a hole in their head because of it.
Right. I'm just
At
saying that
least
you
three.
you could go to a university and learn about how to perform one going by a method that had already been constructed. So it's not necessarily experimental, it's just stupid.
Someone has pretended that they are a legitimate scientist by inventing something that they called a lobotomy, but also even that. Anyway, I don't want to get too far into it. There are several books and podcasts about this. I highly recommend you go
Yeah, I'm
if
sure it's
you're
not a great
interested.
thing. I'm not trying to tell you
Yeah,
that we should start. But yeah,
no,
I'm just saying
it
Urko's
is.
into them. Urko likes the idea.
I also think that probably when this episode came out, even though I think it was probably after lobotomies weren't performed
We'd
anymore.
already Cuckoo's Nest came out in 75, right? And the book came out several years before that, so
Yeah, but I mean, I think that it probably was still sort of considered kind of legitimate, but was probably it got to the point where it was considered not a thing you do
mm,
mostly.
right. Um,
Uh,
did you have any other big points on this episode that you would like to throw out there?
well, hmm,
It is like there's 3 episodes worth of story in this, which is kind of fun, right? Which does mean
yeah.
they can't quite decide what this episode is, and they don't quite commit to any of them, but they don't really screw up any of them either. So it ultimately works out okay.
I mean, it's great. Like I've gone into my trivia, there's a lot of really good actors in this, and they're all playing apes, and
Yeah,
that
I
seems
mean that
like
was the thing that killed the Deception episode, right? Just that one actor was not great in that role, you know?
yeah, I think most of the actors in that weren't great.
Yeah.
It's
So you get
like,
the opposite here where everyone's a little bit on fire, you know?
yeah,
Mom's
I mean,
good, Dad's good, Urko's chewing scenery, Wanda's great. I mean, Wanda's a weirder ape than Galen.
Wanda's incredible. Like I could have just watched Wanda and Urko go back and forth themselves, and that would have been enough. But like, yeah, everybody, Galen's parents are great. It's the officer gorilla is great. It's Doctor's pretty good. I didn't put him in the trivia because I just ran out
Oh,
of.
I like how he points to his stripe and then says, "I'm a lieutenant."
Yeah,
Like he has to look and figure out, remember what his rank is or something.
yeah. It bums me out though. We only have a few more episodes left because I'm like, man, more of this. If
Okay.
this is what we could have gotten if the series had continued, I guess is
Hmm.
just
Well, we'll see how animated does it for you.
yeah. That's I'm sure it's a different thing, but well, yeah, it can't all be about brainwashing, right?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
here's some continuity that was driving me crazy. They have the alternate ape flag. I was like, they got that one ape flag. That must be the official one. And then the Maniac a few weeks ago had like a picture of himself in profile just sketched on the wall. But then that shows up again this week in Ape City. I was like, oh, maybe it's like city state. I don't know.
maybe.
I want to know
Sorry,
more
I just
about.
realized my microphone's been backwards for the entire episode.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, now you sound normal. Okay. Sorry to the
I'm
listener. Now you
sorry
know.
for to everyone that I recorded my favorite episode of this series with a um inside baseball. Like all my stuff got all rearranged and backwards, and then
Okay.
somehow my even though I checked it, my microphone was on backwards the
Well, we'll see
entire
how a little
episode.
equalization and compression helps out for more inside baseball. Anyway, that's a good segue, I guess, to well, yeah, I want to know about ape flag continuity. That's my point.
Oh yeah. So wait, I
I want to have
missed the
fun with
flag on
ape
this.
flags. It's actually painted on the wall, so I guess technically it's not a
Oh,
flag.
ape
So
vexillology.
yeah, maybe there's like an ape fresco or something you do in ape places. Um,
We should do just for I don't know for the last episode of the series. I'll just try and like capture all of the flags from this series and then render them as flags that are flapping around.
Uh, questions. How much of this is
hmm
existential dread? How much of it is adventure fun? I feel like I should stop saying sci-fi. I mean, it is sci-fi, but it's sci-fi without electricity, you know?
But it's all to me it was all fun, but I can't negate the amount of dread because it's super, 80% dread and then 80% fun and they just overlap.
Okay, yeah, you're getting into the more of the overlap. See, I still feel like I have to. I was actually thinking 80 dread, which only means 20 fun, but I was like, it's really maybe 75% dread, but this episode wants dread, right? So A for effort
Yes.
for wanting dread, so it goes up to 80 because of that. Because yeah, you're gonna get your brain twirled, you get twirled, It's got some of the oppressiveness of the original movies, in full force here. Like, yeah, this is a good episode. I don't feel like this is that much of a step down from some of the movie stuff.
Yeah, they basically it there are silly things going on, like him being spun on a table manually spun by apes is objectively silly, but it works because they play it so straight.
Well, Star Trek does in that episode where they clone Kirk, right? Don't they spin him around on a
Yeah.
table too? Yeah, made me think
And
of
then
that.
yes, yeah, Star Trek is like that's like the master class in whatever that is. Like just play it
Spinning people on
straight.
tables. Yeah.
Play it straight and it works. So yeah, that's I mean hell, Space 1999 did that mostly successfully. Um
Yes.
but yeah,
This
I
episode
I
wants dread, so I want to give it dread. For
yeah,
me, I don't have to overlap. I can lower the fun number because this episode wants to be dread.
it pulls it off, which is hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to pull off low budget dread coming from like someone with an ape mask who's going to kiss you.
Or
It's
lobotomize you.
or lobotomize you or whatever, all of it.
I don't know if
And
you're gonna kiss me or lobotomize me.
I mean the like I mentioned all too briefly, the gorilla fight at the end was like pretty serious. It felt like an actual like brawl that had I didn't it's like your leads are going to get out alive, but it felt like there were stakes. So I appreciated that.
Out of 7 bananas, how many bananas do you want to give this episode? I guess I can go first this week because I want. I mean, there's a lot of
Sure.
apes, so they need bananas.
Yeah.
So I'll give it 6 bananas for all the apes in this episode.
I'm giving it 7 bananas because it's crazy. I don't know what else to do.
7 bananas,
It's
whack, man.
like you have a rotating table. It's like a lazy Susan. What do you want on your lazy Susan? 7 bananas.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's how they do it at restaurants, banana restaurants.
Yeah, banana restaurants. Oh
I
my
had
God. Could you imagine? That would be just horrible.
it would smell in there.
Everything is bananas.
At the Moomin Cafe in Moomin Town. I had what was it? Banana chicken stew.
Sure, I'd try it.
It was really good. It doesn't sound good. I don't
Yeah.
even like bananas that much, but the Moomin's banana chicken stew was really good. And that's theme park food too.
I've learned never to underestimate like the appeal of fruit
Mm.
and fruit mixed with savory things. Like you have like a burger with a pineapple ring on it. It's just the best thing in the world.
Japan usually
Or
has good theme
chicken.
park food though, so that helps.
Yeah, and fried bananas. Fried bananas are like okay, they're not a vegetable, but they're a legitimate side.
Are bananas technically a vegetable or are they actually a fruit? They feel more
Uh,
vegetable when you think
they're
about it.
fr- they're closer to I'd say they're closer to like a potato or a
Yeah,
you
that's
know
what I was
a
thinking. Like
root.
'cause tomatoes are fruits, right? So,
Yeah.
what bananas seem more
Well,
vegetable-like. They're more like a cucumber.
well, the easy way to gauge it is that plantains are very close to bananas, and you can cook plantains basically. Have you had the plantains that are just cooked like fries?
Mm,
They're like oh, what are they called? Not maduros is when they're like sweet, but
right.
then uh
We should start the
tostones,
we should
tostones.
we should start the official banana advice board, and when people need official banana advice, they'll come to us.
I give this episode 7 tostones.
Okay, I guess we'll wind down this interrogation. So, where can people find your podcasts?
Nowhere. I don't have a podcast.
Tell me now.
All right, fine. You can find it at podcastiapodcastias.org or on Blue Sky at Podcast Podcast.
Is that all
Are you
you have
gonna
to say for
continue?
yourself?
No, continue interrogating me. You're supposed to be like,
Is
what
that all?
podcast helped you?
What podcast helped you?
Yeah. Uh Time Enough Podcast, Lucas Pokemon, Monster Mash, Cult Disney, Films and Filth.
Hold on, let me check my book here. This says I should kiss you.
Ah! Don't
Gorilla
forget to
kiss.
fluff up your facial hair before you lean in for a kiss. Oh my god. I
Mm.
cannot fucking believe that
Like I said, a little compression, a little EQ, it won't
pisses
be
me
that
off.
bad.
I was like, it doesn't sound right, so I kept tweaking the knobs, and then
What do I
there's
sound like now? I guess this is what you sounded like.
you sound like Luke now.
Oh, okay. Well, you'll sound like Luke then.
Because Luke always sounds like he's farther away from the
Because
whatever it is.
he's got the ball, right? Which is I got the Yeti, so it's directional, and the ball is not, right? Is that how it works? Or it's not as directional?
I don't know. Yeah,
Hmm.
probably. I'm like I am in like a room that is fully carpeted and like it was built as an add-on to the house, so it's like sonically completely dead.
Yeah.
And I actually have like a bunch of pieces of acoustic foam that I found like in somebody's trash. There were like it was a big bag of it that was
Now my
never
room
opened.
smells like garbage.
That was never opened. It wasn't
Right.
like
Mm.
trash. It wasn't like in the food or anything, but I'm gonna put those up and make it even deader. I just am like
Mm.
obsessed
That,
with this
that,
shit.
my room's not that resonant, I think. Tell me if I even listened to Echo for a few years, but I think my room's acoustically pretty solid.
You're echoey, but not as echoey as I don't know, most people.
Yeah, well, because it's probably because it's not that big a room. Or I get real close mic and not echo, but then I look like this in the picture, and that's weird.
Most I mean most people that are on the podcast. Oh, Millie got back to me, said sorry, she's been busy and got a new job and is visiting Japan. So that's funny.
Oh, okay.
But
You could
maybe
offer
we'll.
something else.
April. Yeah, she said she'd be available in April, so maybe we'll try and do something in April.
Bratz might be too soon. Oh God, if she wants American Beauty,
I don't know. Maybe she does want American
maybe
Beauty. I
she
have no
does.
idea.
Yeah,
Actually, no. You know what? Yeah, I'm not even gonna bring that up because she and her former co-host did like talk about Seven, and they did a thing where they talked about Seven. It wasn't her, but it was her co-host's idea. They talked
mm,
about Seven with like no mention. They just didn't mention Kevin Spacey at all.
yeah. You could
Managed to,
also offer. Actually, no one's. I feel like we might have someone. You said Spider Verse. You had someone or something.
yeah, Phil for Spider Verse because he doesn't like it, or
Oh,
he doesn't
you
like
should,
the writing.
yeah, add, you should add the name to the list. Joker's certainly one before too long
Oh
that might.
yeah, I forgot that I can add people to lists.
Yeah. Do that because I look at the list, right? So,
Fuck. How do I? Can you just put that in the chat?
yeah.
I have to look it up every time.
Save the link. Oh yeah, actually it's always up in my browser. It's just a permanent fixture of my browser. I have my computer's weird. I have two. I have a Chrome open and a I, it's there twice, whatever. I have a
Okay.
Chrome open and I have an Explorer open, and the Explorer just has like list of Disney theatrical animated films, the Films and Filth sign up list, and then BitTorrent. That's all that's in that browser. And then my Chrome has everything else. I don't remember why that's the case, but it is.
I have Firefox as my default browser, but I just keep opening everything in Chrome,
Why
and
did I stop using Firefox several years ago?
I don't know. I
Okay.
think it, I think Chrome is probably not that different, but
Mm.
I have 82 tabs open in Chrome and only
Oh my
11
God.
open in Firefox.
Okay. See, my Chrome has three,
I'm a
six,
I'm a
nine,
fucking degenerate.
12 in Chrome, and then just like the four in whatever it is. Not
I
Explorer, the
can
other thing.
I can close all the tabs related to Apes Trivia and Lobotomy and Banana Cafe, and
Ooh, Banana
there's a new
Cafe.
tab. Yeah, I was looking for what's a banana restaurant.
Yeah, I don't need Stafford Reps wiki page anymore, that's for sure. I guess I can get rid of the interrogation now. Oh, at the bottom it did mention there's an interview with Mark Leonard done during this episode under the name Urko Unleashed. Chris Claremont, Planet of the Apes, UK number 22. That was kind of exciting. I just like seeing
Wait, Chris
Claremont's.
Claremont interviewed him?
I think he maybe wrote the comic book, and that's why it says by. I really want to think he interviewed him though, but that's probably not the case. Oh, Caesar and me don't need that anymore. Oh, I'm really cracking my tabs down. Now I'm down to three, six, seven tabs on my Chrome.
Good job.
I'm
So this
pared
thing just
down.
saves automatically. Great. Um,
Now I have to see how many
I
tabs are
guess
open on my iPad.
Shan I'm assuming that Will does want Django. I mean, he seemed like not enthusiastic about it, but just like having, I think he'd be good to have on. I prefer to have him on for good movies because he's a good guest, and
Five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10, 11, 12,
I don't know.
13,
I don't know if you
14,
feel like this, but
15.
I think that certain people are way better. Like, we have trouble with good movies talking about them.
Yeah.
Certain people are like, certain guests are really good to have on for the good movies. And I think John Champion, especially, is like every time John is on for a good movie, it works.
And then Andrew, he don't even want a good movie. He's only coming for the bad ones.
Well, I mean, the next movie Andrew's on is a movie I love, so that's gonna be weird. But
Mm.
um, yeah, but like for
The Master of
sure.
Disguise?
Oh, I was looking at Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Is
Oh
Master of
no,
Disguise
he's on the
before that?
Master of Disguise before that.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't
Which I thought
know.
I just thought it'd be funny if you're gonna say that was a movie you loved. So
I feel like I probably have to, since I talk so much shit about Mike Myers, I probably kind of have to be nice to to Master of Disguise. I've never seen it.
a good movie. We'll
It's
see.
not good.
Oh,
Oh,
well, I don't know. I haven't seen it. Maybe I'll love it, but I have my doubts. I think I'll go ahead and
it
hit a
seems like
stop
such
here.
a crapshoot with